monkeys.
Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden, what if, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back with a brand new series. What if Deku was a Technopath? Real quick, I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff to y'all. This is the quote-unquote Christmas special. I'm just starting a new series on Christmas. I was debating if I wanted to upload on Christmas, but I decided to do so because why not? Shout out to my boy Saint for the music below, or obviously the music you can hear. Description link is in the description below, and yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time, and we're gonna get right into the brand new what if. Let's get it. In a world where quirks mean so much to society, a superpower that gives the person an opportunity to be a hero. Almost everybody in this society wants exactly that. Wants to be a hero, wants to be a person that can save people. But the thing is not everyone can do so. Some may have to play their role. Some become those heroes. Some become support heroes, and others become, well, regular people. Some go and do jobs as a doctor, policeman, all noble jobs, but not every kid can fulfill that. In the original canon, Izuku Midoriya was just that, but we are going to bless him with a brand new quirk instead. Izuku was born into a family, the Midoriya family, with only his mother and his father out on sea. They had very odd quirks. One, his mother had a minor telekinesis quirk, and his father could breathe fire. His mother would, well, basically think about this, and maybe he would get her quirk, or maybe he would get his, maybe a combination of the two. But that's not actually what happens. When Izuku was 4 years old, they were all watching TV, until Izuku's eyes began to flicker. He began to see the TV in a new way, see all of everything in a new way. The lights, the machines, the washing machine, the TV itself, everything, the phone screens, everything around him felt different. He looked at the TV and moved his hand, and it began changing. The channels began to change, and he looked at the lights, and he was able to make the lights turn off and on without even moving from his seat. His mother began to freak out at this, saying that it must be his quirk and that this is amazing. They need to figure out what it is. So that's exactly what they do. The next day, she takes Izuku to the doctors, and when he arrives, the doctor greets them in and explains to them, after doing some tests, what his quirk is. Yes, it seems that his quirk is called Technopath. His quirk basically allows him to control electronics, machines, things like that. It's very interesting, actually. A very strong quirk as well, but it really depends on what he wants to be. He could have major success in a regular job and probably make a lot of money as an amazing engineer, top of the line per se. Or he can be a support hero and probably be very successful in that as well. The only thing is, a regular hero, it would be definitely a hurdle for him to, well, get past. The mom, or Inko, asks why he says that, and he explains that a Technopath quirk in regular society and in terms of hero society wouldn't work as well because, well, it's not raw output, not raw power. You think of someone like All Might, Endeavor, and when you think about them, you think of raw strength, firepower, stuff like that. And well, that's not exactly what Izuku has. He does obviously have very high capabilities, but that's not exactly what he's built for. He's not built to, well, be that person at the front line, smashing villains, helping prevent destroyed buildings from falling on citizens. Izuku then basically supports the idea of being a, well, support hero, and says that sounds like an amazing job, being a support hero, helping the other heroes, that maybe he can't lift the building, but maybe he can make something that will help another hero lift that building. And, well, the doctor is surprised by the sentence that Izuku just said and began analyzing his quirk more, and it seems that this Technopath quirk is a little different. Well, yes, he can control machines, but he can also learn from machines themselves, and that's why he was, well, at the age of 4, able to formulate a sentence this, well, standard of someone maybe who's 15, 16. The doctor then tells them that of this, and that Izuku would, well, basically find his way through, well, regular learning pretty easily as long as he keeps up with his studying and analyzing different machines. Izuku eventually is then allowed to leave with Inko, and they head back home. Izuku began analyzing the TV once again, learning everything on the TV, not at a rapid rate by any means, but definitely faster than anybody could have, his age. Izuku continued this, and then eventually he went back to school after the weekend. Katsuki Bakugo, his best friend that he calls Kachan, actually is waiting for him at the front gate, and excitedly tells Izuku that he got his quirk. Look, look, look! Bakugo's hands begin to explode, and Izuku is excited. And Izuku then explains to Bakugo that he doesn't have this raw output quirk like him, and he can't make things explode, but he can control machines. Whoa, really? Like robots and stuff like that? Izuku says that that's just it. Yeah, if he made a robot, he could definitely control it. Maybe even a suit of armor or little gadgets. So he'll be the best support hero. Bakugo then agrees, and he basically says that he can't wait for both of them to have their own agency, and that he can be the top support hero, and that Kachan will be the top pro hero. So they both agree, and well, they enter the classroom, and both of them are praised pretty much for their quirks. A lot of the kids really like Izuku's quirk, being able to control the machines around them, and will help with miscellaneous tasks if the teacher allows it. Basically, during class, if the teacher asks, well, can you turn on the TV? Izuku can do that on his own by not even moving. And, well, in a weird kid way, everyone is like really psyched about this, and they think it's so cool that Izuku can control all this stuff, and that maybe in the future he can control robots, and just like those cool Power Ranger robots and stuff. Izuku agrees, eventually leading to basically a childhood where he was never really bullied. Him and Bakugo were pretty good friends. Obviously, Bakugo still has his superiority complex, but he still was pretty good friends with Izuku. Izuku had a good quirk, and well, there was no reason for him to bully Izuku. So, all the way up until, well, it was their last day at middle school, they were talking about, well, where they would go to high school. And their teacher began talking about giving them career aptitude tests, but then he throws all the papers in the air. But I know all of you want to go the hero route. Everyone begins flashing their quirks except for Bakugo and Izuku, and he basically explains that all of them have amazing quirks, but even Izuku and Bakugo are applying to UA. And a lot of the students begin saying that Izuku will definitely get into the support course, and that Bakugo will definitely have a good chance of getting into the hero course. Bakugo kind of scoffs at this and says that Izuku should be trying to get into the hero course as well, and maybe they can make an exception to do double. But Izuku tells Bakugo, or Kachan, that that's not really his thing. He never really wanted to be a pro hero. He always thought of himself as a support hero, and that it better fits his quirk anyways. and then maybe he could, but it would be like taking another spot from someone else that could deserve it. Bakugo rolls his eyes and reluctantly agrees and says that it's his choice. After the class, the teacher basically lets them all out, and Izuku begins to head home. Bakugo asks if he wants to go train, and maybe they can do some sparring, and Izuku says that he's down to do so, but he needs to head home first, and he'll talk to him later. So, that's exactly what happens. Izuku begins writing in his journal, and he begins heading under a bridge. And while this is happening, well, a giant villain bursts from the sewer. Izuku turns to see this villain, and isn't necessarily scared, but he is looking around maybe to see if there's any pro heroes. "Kid, I need your body. I didn't know he was here." Izuku tilts his head. Who was here? What are you even talking about? The giant freaking monster begins charging at Izuku, saying that there's no time to talk, and Izuku realizes that he needs to act quickly. Quickly, he throws something on the ground and shoots a mini laser-like thing at the monster. It goes straight through the monster, and Izuku realizes that this thing is practically liquid. What Izuku shot was basically this thing he created, which was a machine that would lock something or someone into a tiny capsule. So he decides to throw the capsule directly at the monster, and when it hits it, it gets sucked into the capsule. Oh, so the laser doesn't work, but direct contact does. Okay, that needs to be fixed. Izuku walks over and picks up the capsule as something else begins to rumble underneath the bridge, or more precisely, in the sewer. Izuku looks down as the sewer begins to shake, and All Might busts through the sewer, screaming and, well, stating, "No need to fear, because I am here." "Kid, where's the villain?" Izuku then tosses him the little capsule and says that the villain is stuck in this little glass cage, sort of. Izuku then basically pulls out a visual panel, and begins changing the capsule to make it see-through. He enlarges it a little bit and shows that the sludge villain is actually captured within it. Yeah, it's kind of my own invention. It's hard to explain, but I only have one of them. So it'd be cool if you can get it out of here into a bottle or something, because I kind of need this. All Might is shocked by this and says that he wants to bring Izuku to the police with him, and then he'll figure out how to get the sludge villain out of the capsule. Izuku agrees, and they basically head over to a police station, entering an office, but as this happens, All Might deflates. The police officer in there apologizes to Izuku, and Izuku looks at All Might. "Oh, so you're like you're the same person, right? Like, I assume that's just a form? So that's kind of weird. So your quirk is like a form." All Might then shakes his head and says that it's a little more complicated than that, but to a certain extent, yeah, it's a form, but he can't hold the form very long. He doesn't necessarily tell Izuku all the context behind it, and nor does Izuku even ask. Izuku just asks the police captain if it's possible to get the sludge villain out of that thing so he can have the capsule back, because he's still working and trying to figure out the kinks in it. The police captain is surprised by this, saying that did he really create this himself, and Izuku said yeah, he's been working on it for a while, and it's supposed to be like a capture device for all villains, but obviously this laser that he has to basically transport them in there doesn't work as well as he thought, so he was forced to just throw it at the villain, and it ended up working just fine. But it might have something to do with him being liquid, so he needs to make sure that a person that goes in there normally will be safe. The police captain questions how he knew the sludge villain would be safe, and Izuku basically just says it's because he's liquid, that he would be fine. And the captain is pretty impressed. He basically tells Izuku that he has a bright future in definitely being a hero, and definitely in support hero work. All Might agrees and tells Izuku that he would love to actually recommend him for UA. Wait, really? UA? Yes, were you planning on going to UA in the first place? Yes, I was, but if you're gonna recommend me, that's even better. I'd love that. That'd look so good to other agencies. Yes, no problem. I would love to recommend you. Wow, thank you so much. Wait, recommend. Wait, does that mean you're teaching there? Yes, actually. Other pro heroes can recommend without teaching there, though. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. That's really awesome. So you'll be teaching the hero course, I assume. Yes, the hero course. And I assume you wanted for the support course. Yeah, support course is just fine. So All Might decides. He decides to actually give this boy, Izuku Midoriya, a recommendation into the support course of UA. And, well, it goes pretty smoothly. It's literally one phone call, couple little tidbits of information, and Izuku is in. He then realized how short they are on support heroes. And All Might basically tells him that they actually have one pretty good support student coming in soon that they heard about by the name of Mei Hatsume, and that she creates pretty good support items, but this is a new level. A capsule that can capture villains without even attacking them is something they've never heard of. Yeah, I've been working on a lot of things as I grew up. I mean, I can of course bring them to UA whenever I need. Yes, I'm sure UA will love to see them, and Power Loader himself. Cool, thank you. If you don't mind me asking, when do we start? Or when does UA start? Oh, about 11 months from now, roughly, give or take. I will send you the direct date when it gets the chance. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'll be taking my leave now. They ask if he needs a ride home, and he says that is completely fine and that he can get home himself. He walks out of the police station and basically does a little jog to his house. Damn, I really wish I had a teleporter. I should work on that next. Can I even work on that? I feel like that's crossing the line in terms of not having a hero. Whatever, that's a bridge I'll cross later. He walks into his home and his mom begins freaking out, asking what happened and why he was so late. Oh, sorry, I was kind of maybe attacked by a villain, but luckily I had my capsule on me, so I kind of just threw it. Oh, my capsule, I forgot it. Izuku is just then stared at by Inko, and Inko really asks and is like, "Are you sure you're okay?" Yeah, I'm fine, Mom. Okay, honey, sounds good? Dinner's ready. Okay? Yeah, why do you sound so surprised? Because you said that capsule was a prototype, and it worked? Yeah, I mean, not completely, but I just threw it at him and it worked. That's good, I'm glad it worked. Ingo is obviously kind of stunned by the fact that her son made something that was built to instantly capture a villain, and he's only 15. She knew her son was very smart, but this is a new realm of genius. He created something that even pro heroes have not created, and he doesn't even see it as a giant accomplishment. He's happy that it worked, but he doesn't realize how important this is. So Izuku then goes on like normal, and eventually the first day of UA then arrives. He then looks around basically for it, and he finds class 1A. Oh, this is a hero course. This is cool, I guess. Until someone bumps into him. Move out of the way, you damn nerd. Kachan, come on, man, don't be like that. Bakugo laughs and tells him that it's good to see him there, and it is weird that he didn't see him at the entrance exam. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I kind of, long story short, got recommended by All Might. Bakugo slaps him on the head and says how could he not say that? How could he not tell him that story and that he's telling him later? Okay, I will. Don't freaking hit me so hard. That hurt. Izuku then looks for his class, eventually finding it, and is greeted by Power Loader. Power Loader then explains to all of them that, well, they're going to be working on stuff immediately. So everyone will be assigned 2 people, one from class 1A, one from class 1B. you'll be making basically a support item for them. And I will be passing out those papers right now. Izuku then eventually gets his paper and looks and sees that the first one from Class 1A is Bakugo. Wow, this is perfect. I already have so many ideas and I have stuff at home already. And Class 1B. Setsuna Tokage. Quark Lizard Tail Splitter. That's a little bit more interesting than Kachan's, I would say. But it's definitely something I can work with. She can basically separate her body into 50 pieces? How does that even work? Where do her organs go? Okay, I shouldn't be thinking about that. I'll figure it out as I go. Power Loader then begins saying that basically they'll be starting their hero, training very soon. So they have today and probably tomorrow to work on support items. It won't be anything crazy, but whatever they can get done and get to them, prototype or not, will be useful for them. If there's not any questions, I will let you all get to work right now. Good. I will be looking forward to what any of you and all of you can come up with. And that is a wrap for part 1 of What If Deku Was a Technopath. I guess we're in the season of giving. We're giving Deku a nice quirk. We're giving everybody some new support items. You know what I'm saying? Add a little bit to the story. Okay, enough of that. I'm done joking around. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope all y'all have an amazing holidays, Christmas, all that good stuff. And I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.